Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzimus, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. I have another video for the black sheep of the family, the chosen one. You're out there wondering, where are you getting all this information? How do you have all this wisdom? How do you have all this knowledge? Okay. So if you have a person who has gone through that awakening, of course, and you are on your healing journey, there is most of those questions you are going to be asked by so many people around you. Okay. Now, it is not something new. The truth has always been inside of you. Okay. You were born with this truth, so you came here with the truth. And the black sheep of the family, you are the truth seeker, and at the same time, you are the truth teller. So the problem was, a long time ago, you have forgotten who you are, okay? Because when you came here, the enemy knew everything about you, okay? So these things, what I'm talking about, these things, and you hear me talking about the enemy, we all know who the enemy is, okay? So we know that the enemy has always been around you. The enemy is the narcissist, the enemy is the evil people, the enemy, they are those people who have always been trying to take you out, okay? To destroy your life. This has simply been on a physical level, but on a spiritual level, the enemy has always known who you are. And you have always been a threat. Why have you been a threat? Because you have got a lot of truth inside of you, okay? So the light that shines within you is the light of truth and love, okay? Freedom, peace. So it is a light that the enemy doesn't want to see. You understand? The enemy doesn't want to see your truth. The enemy isn't interested in your love. That's why they would never love you. The enemy isn't interested in your beauty. They are not interested in your character, whatever. So what the enemy did in the early days, back in the days, long time ago, the enemy had to find a way of shutting you down and putting you to sleep, okay? They might even have tried to, take you out, poison you. Probably you have even been abandoned by your parents. Maybe they threw you off as soon as you were born. They didn't want anything to do with you. Even at that time, they didn't know what they were doing. But they thought that they didn't need you, but for some reason you're still here, okay? There's a very big reason as to why you have survived everything. The enemy was trying everything to take your light, to kill you, to destroy you, and to put you out, okay? Now, a lot of these videos of the black sheep, they can also be triggering as well, So sometimes it might be easier for me to speak about these things because, of course, I've done a lot of work on my healing. So the more you heal, you realize that they are no longer these things that are actually keeping on triggering you. So now you can use that truth to teach people and to help the people around you. So the enemy went to work. So what did the enemy do? The enemy shut you down and put you to sleep in so many ways. The enemy refused to validate you. The enemy refused to recognize your truth. You were never allowed to speak. You are not allowed to say anything. You are not even allowed to show your presence in certain family meetings. That is because the enemy has always been scared and afraid about your truth, okay, and the light. But you see, the black sheep, you live the most part of your life in darkness. The reason why you see a lot of black sheep around the world, they are wondering what is going on with them. You know, sometimes you're thinking that you're crazy, you think maybe you're doing something wrong, you're feeling like you don't deserve the treatment that you're having around you. That is because your light has been suppressed over the years and you've been put to sleep, so you are not supposed to function organically, okay? So you are only allowed to do things that the enemy wanted you to do. So if you didn't do anything that the enemy wanted, if you did anything that the enemy did not want you to do, is the reason as to why you were actually usually punished. So when you're talking about the enemy, the black sheep, is very obvious that you already know that you have grown up in a very dysfunctional, narcissistic, toxic family unit. And the people that were supposed to raise you, they have been the people responsible for destroying you, okay? So they have been the ones who have been on this assignment of trying to take you down. But you see, something very mysterious happens to the black sheep. It is very mysterious, scary, very supernatural. The event of the black sheep awakening is a very powerful event, okay? So when you awaken, when the universe decides, okay, so this person, they're going to wake you up, the universe is going to wake you up, your angels, I don't know, your spirit guides, your good ancestors, the higher powers, okay? They have chosen you to awaken. Now, when you awaken, on a very spiritual level, it's like your light bulbs have been turned on. Now, when you've been activated, the very first thing that will come to you in those early days and maybe even weeks or even months, you're going to start getting a lot of spiritual downloads. These spiritual downloads are coming from the higher powers, okay? When we hear people talking about the spiritual downloads, not everybody can get spiritual downloads, okay? It's a selected few people that can actually have spiritual downloads. And sometimes you're saying things, or you're doing things, or you're moving a certain way, and you feel like you're being guided. You've been guided and you've been directed, okay? So you're having downloads from the higher powers. The very first insights you're going to get in the early days, weeks, even sometime months of your awakening, the very first downloads you will get as a black sheep of the family will be the things that have been happening in your life, okay? Some people want to call it on the 3D level, they want to call it the aha moment. You know, you get this aha moment. It's like you finally figured it out, you finally get it. So when that moment happens, you're going to start remembering things. And let me tell you what is the scariest part of this. You know, this entire time, you have always been watched, okay? You are God's favorite. And you've always been watched by the higher powers. Everything that they did to you was seen. You were being monitored. So whenever they thought that you were in danger, maybe somebody wanted to poison you, or somebody wanted to take you out, the higher powers came in and intervened, okay? So normally they have intervened through different people, or sometimes supernatural experiences that you couldn't even understand. It's the reason as to why sometimes when you had things like, for example, a car accident, you are most likely the only one that survived, okay? Or sometimes probably somebody tried to poison you. That poison didn't affect you, and you were protected and you were saved from that poison by some mysterious coincidence, okay? So you have been usually protected. Now, what is really happening when you have been activated, you are going to start receiving spiritual downloads. Personally, I remember when I was waking up in those early days, I remember getting a lot of insights in so many things, you know. I couldn't understand why I know things, where I know, how I know what I know, why I know what I know. I couldn't really figure out where the information was coming from, but I started getting a lot of information, okay? Sometimes it can appear in dreams, you know, sometimes the universe may show you, because when you're being activated, it's like you're getting more and more connected to the higher source, okay, to source energy. And usually, you're going to start receiving these downloads. Sometimes, like I've said, they're going to come in through dreams. You may start going to sleep and you're going to start dreaming. You remember back in the days when you used to go to sleep and you couldn't remember your dreams, you know? When you're being activated, that is history. You're going to start seeing a lot of these dreams coming to you. You're going to be communicating. The universe will start revealing itself to you, okay? So you're going to start getting a lot of signs, the synchronicities. You're going to start realizing the supernatural experiences around you, okay? And it is going to feel like you're the only one who understands and gets it, okay? You have always been the only one that gets it from day one. But you see, for some reason, whenever you try to figure out some experiences in your life, you are invalidated and put back to sleep, okay? So you are never allowed to say your truth, speak your truth, hear your truth, okay? So when you're getting these downloads and insights, you're going to start seeing people. The universe sometimes will show you your parents, okay? If they have, which usually most of the cases have been the problem. If you have not grown up with your parents, most likely your guardians, the people that actually were in there to protect you and to take care of you. So they could have done some things behind your back that you didn't even know. And you're going to start getting dreams, okay? Some of these dreams will show you this spiritual activity which has always happened that you didn't even know about, the things that you didn't even expect. And you're going to start seeing the things that your parents might have done to you back in the days, even sometime when you was a baby, when you was a child, and you weren't even aware of these things. So now you're starting to reveal, to get a revelation of these things. They are coming to you and you're seeing what they did, okay? Me personally, I've been able to figure out those things that I never even saw, okay? So the things that people have been doing that I didn't even know. Even some of them were family members, okay? Within the family, including, of course, the narcissistic parents, have been able to see the things that they have always done, and I've been able to understand them. Sometimes, if you're not able to dream, if you do not dream, the insight is simply going to come to you, because these are downloads. They're just coming in naturally, okay? So you're going to remember who you were before you forgot who you were. You're now going to start remembering things, okay? And normally, this is going to be like a shock, because you will realize that there is things that have been really hidden from you. And there's the world that has always been hidden from you that you didn't even know, okay? So during this memory, when the memory is coming back, when you're remembering all these things, you do not need to go to a specialist to tell you things about your life, you know what I mean? A black sheep, you will know yourself. You will know your life. When the time comes, like some of us, of course, there's some of the people on this channel, they have awakened, but maybe they're still figuring themselves out. There is things that you're going to know, and you're not going to need any external sources to tell you these things. You are simply going to know what is happening, okay? With your life and around you. So it's the reason as to why you are starting to recognize the energy that has always been around you that you couldn't see back then when you was asleep, okay? So that's why you're seeing a lot of these masks are sleeping. You're starting to understand your parents, your family members. You're seeing your friends, your relatives, your wives, your husbands, your children. You're starting to see this world around you, and you're really understanding that there is so many things that have been happening, and you were never able to figure out back in the days. Everything is coming back to you, okay? So there is a moment that will always come for a black sheep, when you will remember everything. But normally, that period is going to come during that pop, because I've told you, most of the times when you awaken, you are kind of going through an ascension process, okay? And when you're going through an ascension process, your memory is coming back to you, okay? It's like your light bulbs are now getting switched on and turned on, and you're starting to really understand everything around you. the activity and the energy that has been going on around you. And sometimes a lot of these things are, you know, very big shockers, okay? So it will usually be a very painful process to mourn. So every black sheep that I know of, including me, we know that there's been that time when we had to mourn the losses, of course, because when you are starting to extract yourself out of difficult, dangerous situations, you realize that you're getting away from the people that you apparently thought they once upon a time had your best interests at heart, okay? Which wasn't the case. They were only trying to help themselves, okay? They were not doing anything because of, you know, out of love and, you know, because they really loved you. They were just doing things because you were there, and because they didn't like you, they hated you, okay? So a black sheep, you don't have to do anything to be hated, okay? So that explains all these things that you've been seeing around you, the punishments, you know, the behaviors of people around you, the torture, humiliation, manipulation, and everything. You can name it all. So the enemy has really played a very big role. It is okay, we understand everything. You know, there's no coincidences eventually, but we also understand that at some point in time you understand the role that the enemy has always played in your life to, you know, to put out your light, okay? To keep in the darkness, so that you'll never be able to rise. So you see, the life of a black sheep is very painful to be a black sheep of the family, okay? I understand that these are part of your assignments and everything, but you know, of course, you endure a lot of pain, okay? During the course of your life, you endure a lot of pain. You see a lot, you experience a lot, you go through a lot, okay? Because somewhere, somehow, there is some forces that have always tried to hurt you. There is some forces which didn't even want you to exist, okay? So the destination of a black sheep initially, according to the enemy's mind, was to make you a failure, you understand? So that explains all the delays you've been having in your life, why you couldn't engage yourself in healthy relationships, why you couldn't start your own businesses, why you couldn't finish schools, why everything for you was hard, okay? So that explains everything, because the enemy was working behind the scenes to make you a failure so that you could fail, okay? So a black sheep of the family, like I've said in my videos many times, you have always been the sacrifice, okay? But that is only for a short period of time. Yes, okay, I understand sometimes people wake up at a very later age. A lot of the black sheep, they wake up at a later stage in their lives, okay? But at the end of the day, you understand that the black sheep's existence and experience has always been a divine process, okay? So you being a special one, the chosen one, the divine has always been intervening in your life. Although things didn't really look nice and, you know, smooth on the surface, but there's always been divine intervention in your life, whether you knew it or you didn't know it, okay? But the black sheeps, one thing to take in this video is that you're going to finally remember who you are, okay? But whatever you see, whatever insights come to you, whatever knowledge you get, whatever wisdom you get, you have to know that that wisdom is coming from the higher powers, okay? So when you see people around you, post-awakening, trying to call you names, trying to call you narcissists, trying to call you crazy, that is the work of the enemy. The enemy is angry and the enemy is mad that you are finally awakened, okay? So the enemy cannot take the fact that you are awakened, because the enemy wanted you asleep this entire time. But now you are waking up, and it's making the enemy very uncomfortable. So that's why you're seeing all these people coming around your life and trying to suck you back in. They're trying to hoover you. They're trying to gaslight you. They're trying to make you think you're crazy. They're smearing your name. They're calling you everything, because the enemy is afraid that you're awakened. But you're going to remember. And when you remember, you'll see everybody around you, every event that is happening around you all the people that is hanging and lingering around you, you will be able to understand who they are, okay? And you will never be able to see those people for who you thought they were. You're only going to be allowed to see those people for who they really are, okay? So there are no masks post-awakening, all right? So black sheep, whatever is happening in your life, it is only for a time being. But you have got to be prepared, black sheep. If you know for a real fact that you're the black sheep, I'm preparing you in this video. You're about to step into the greatest version of yourself. There's going to be a process. It's going to be painful, okay? It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging as well, but you're about to step into the greatest version of yourself. That is when you're going to realize the real reason why you're here, okay? Accept it. Accept your calling, okay? The calling is going to come to you. Accept your calling. Accept the calling with faith. I know the ego sometimes is kicking in and the ego is coming in. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, what you know, because you've always been trained and conditioned to play it cool and to play it low. You've always been kept on the low. But the universe is getting you out so that you can rise and sit on your throne, okay? You're meant for greatness. And success is your destiny, black sheep of the family. No matter what is going on around you, do not be fooled by your current circumstances. Everything is going to work out in your favor. I want you to remember this video and save this video. You will come back and testify at one point that I told you the truth. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session, donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. Destined signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.